Welcome back to Crystal Wellness Studios. This week we've got 5 barrels in 6090 coarse silicone carbide grit, or most commonly known as stage 1. And we have 1 barrel that has been in medium stage, which is silicone carbide 120-220. Let's get started with the medium barrel, because it's better to start my cleaning process with the higher grits in order to avoid cross-contamination. I don't care about it contaminating down. Contaminating up is the problem. And this week I just have the one screen with me. So that cleaned out pretty well. This is our Whitefish Bay, Lake Superior, Michigan mixed beach rock. Because it's running in 120, I put some cushioning in the barrel to make up some of the volume and to cushion the rocks. So you'll see some ceramic media there. Boy, I really do like adding borax to the run because it makes cleanup so much easier. I'm really excited to see how these are turning out. This is Jacobsville sandstone. It's feeling smooth, but it still has that porous, sandy texture to it. Probably going to need more time. Holy crap, these are feeling like glass. I think this is just granite. There's a piece of, I think, Unakite. Could be granite. Really not a lot of Lepidolite in that if that was Unakite. Just get all these little pieces. They're all feeling, this is Unakite. Feels really smooth on the surface, just that one piece. I'm really curious to see how these are going to polish. Kind of separating these out so you can see the volume in the barrel. It's about half full. And this is why I needed the ceramic media to get us up to the 2/3 mark. Shake there. Now you can see how the volume has filled the barrel. And that's why we do it. It's just a quickie little demonstration there. And now we're going to get to cleaning our barrels that are in 6090. We'll be right back. Let's start with the big guns. We've got our Sera, Jasper, also known as windowed Rhyolite. It's got this really neat putty color slurry. Just kind of clean that off. This is in our 4.5 pound barrel. That's a good slurry. Not too thick, not too thin. Nothing's really sticking to the bottom. And that's how easy the clean out is when you add borax to the barrel. So my hose can't reach that side. Yeah, pretty happy about that. Getting some stone going through the grate on our strainer, and that's Unakite, little shreds of Unakite that I've been using as barrel filler. I've been using Unakite as barrel filler instead of ceramic media because this windowed Rhyolite is heavy and it's just shredding the ceramic media. So I'm using these little pieces of tile cuttings and little scraps of the same hardness stone in order to, that's a nice piece of Unakite, in order to fill the barrel. Okay, let's take these inside and do an inspection. Be right back. Back with our green Jasper. Wow, that is a super thin slurry. Looks like we've got some grit left. And maybe not. Never mind. Just a really thin slurry, and I'm really surprised at how thin that is. It tells me it's not really grinding a lot. And looking at the stone, I'm not seeing a whole lot of shaping happening either. Seeing a lot of shaping happening. Interesting. Alright, we'll be right back. Back with our Sodalite. Now, that green Jasper we just did had a really thin slurry, and you can see how this one's a little thicker, a little foamier. Tells me we've had some shaping happen in the barrel, because the thickening of that is like rock mud from it grinding off. Gosh, I do love not having to scrub the rims. Looks like there's a lot of grit left, which I'm surprised about that. All these barrels have run for the same number of days. I put them on the tumbler on August 14th, and today is the 22nd. So, 8 days. 7.5. It's interesting how each barrel treated the same, with the same amount of grit, the same amount of water. Reacts different. I know most people don't put ceramic media in stage 1. This is a slightly softer stone, And I wanted to try to control the amount of volume loss on the stone, and I needed an efficient run in the barrel, and an efficient run in the barrel means your volume needs to be 2/3 or 3/4 full. Any more than 3/4 full and it won't get the rotation that you need to grind and shape. Any less than that and it beats your rocks up really bad. So you can see I'm less than half full. Less than half full with no filler. And then this is a lot of filler, a lot of ceramic media. And because it's a softer stone, I didn't want to use like Unakite or little bits of Mexican Crazy Lace agate or any of that stuff, because that's harder. I didn't want to damage the stone. Plus, its irregular shape can cause damage to softer stones, and the cylindrical shape of the ceramic media is better. Take a shake, and you see how that brought the volume up to almost 2/3. So we did have some loss in that barrel. Okay, be right back. And we're back with our Unakite. Oh, nice and foamy. Tiny bit on the thin side, I think. It's interesting as I watch this drain, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, how it's separating like the pure water, the rock mud, and the grit. Kind of almost like it's an oil. I find that really interesting. I don't know if you can see this, but it looks like the lid is bulging. So there's like a little bit of a buildup gas in the lid itself. To relieve that, you just burp it. See, and now it's gone back flat and you can see the little dimple in the middle. Just thought that was interesting. Now the difference with this barrel and the Sodalite barrel is I didn't add any filler. And by not adding filler, you're seeing that we've got more chipping happening. You didn't have that with the Sodalite. This is really coming along nicely. See, all this here is all breakage. And this is the stage you want the breakage to happen. You want these sharp edges to come off. But I'm not going to use those, so I'm just going to toss them into the garden. Right back there. Alright, how many more of these do we have? We have one more barrel, and it's a mixed one. And we're back with our last barrel that we're going to do for cleanouts this week, and this is various amounts, a variety of stones, all Mohs hardness 7, so they can run together in the barrel. And they're just bits and pieces of past projects I was just trying to finish up and get all the 60-90 stage done. And for filler in this barrel, I'm using little bits of topaz, which is like a Mohs hardness of 8, but they're rounded and it shouldn't cause damage. Again, we're in stage 1, so it doesn't matter. And now, see how this, can you see that? guess I should check the camera. See how it's kind of bulging? There's some gas buildup under the rim. Just gonna peel the boot back from the gasket, and it goes back down. Let me get rid of that. Flatten out that bulge. Yeah, 2 barrels like that this week. Interesting. Oh, that's why we had gas buildup in the barrel. I added some fresh amethyst. Gosh, I blanked on the word for a moment. And some old bloodstone, and we just have all kinds of stuff in here. But I added some amethyst because I was trying to fill the barrel because there wasn't really enough pieces in my 3-pound barrel to run 60-90. These are just the crushed topaz, and they're too small to do anything that I wanted with. So I'm just running them in 60-90 as filler. Wow. This was a really big piece of bloodstone, and I wanted to keep it really large. But you can't really put too many of these in a 3-pound barrel, otherwise you're not going to get the grindage that you need. So there's only that one really big piece. Then this is a really big piece of amethyst. And then we've got our black onyx, Australian lace, picture jasper, green moss agate. All those are ones that we were just finishing up. They're all in here. Give them another little rinse. Okay, we will take these inside and do our inspections. See you soon. And we're back with our Lepidolite, but there's a little bit of a story that goes with this lovely little barrel. We had put it on the tumbler on the 19th, and we were going to let it run for a solid week. And on day 6 of that run, we lost power for 3 days. And then I just haven't gotten back to the barrels. And today is now the September 3rd, so it has sat on without power for 3 days. And then it's been another 4 days. I just haven't gotten to it. So we lost a whole week of production, however, whatever. Let's find out what's going on in this barrel. It doesn't sound like there's any movement in there, so I hope it's not all locked up. But we're going to find out what happens when you just let it sit. Well, it is really thick. There's a little bit of gas buildup under the rim. Oh, that just made my hands filthy. So we took care of that. Nice and flat again. Just from that little tiny bit I dumped out, you can see there's a lot of grit that didn't get used. This purple is rock mud. All that black is coarse grit. Alright. Let's see if we have any stone at all left. Or did it all just turn to paste? Oh, there's stone. Goodness, can you see that? It's just like... Just turning to cement. Oh, it's cleaning out really easy. I'm doing it slow because I'm really curious to see. Doesn't look like anything got glued to the bottom. The barrel clean out was easy. Super, super foamy. Huh. I was really nervous. I gotta admit, I didn't know if I'd have any stone left. So it kind of sat there for a couple of days before I decided to go check on it. And after the barrel washouts from, oh, I don't know, I think it was the 22nd. Yeah, on August 22nd, I did the barrel washouts on the other barrels. And this one was still running because it's off schedule, because it's such a soft stone, and we were doing cycles instead of runs. Some of these are ready to move to stage 2. But as we keep adding more rough to the barrel, it's kind of like a perpetual stage 1. You can see some of the stones really shrunk down to nothing, and some of this is breakage. Sort of got a little bit of both situations happening here. Give it another rinse. Alright, let's take it downstairs and add it to all those barrels that I never bothered to do an inspection on last week. Kind of crazy when life gets in the way. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright, we are back to do our inspections from our 8/22 barrel cleanouts, and today is September 3rd. Everything is just sort of sat on hold. We had a 3-day power outage, and then I just got busy with life and haven't gotten back to this. So let's start with our Lepidolite, which is an advanced stone. This is stage 1. It has been running various amounts of time in stage 1. Yeah, it's a piece of broken stone. We have been pulling out little batches from all the runs of stone Lepidolite that we've got ready for stage 2, and we're just waiting for all this other rock to catch up to it. Get this bag opened up on me. Alright, so let's see if we've got anything else to add to our stuff that's ready to go forward. This one looks nice. It's got this little hole in it here. But the shaping is really, really nice on this, and I don't think I want to keep wearing down the stone just for that mica pocket. I'm going to clean it with an ultrasonic cleaner so make sure there's no grit held. I'm trying to get as much of this moving forward as I can. Some of these have been running multiple cycles in stage 1, but not all of them, because every time we run a cycle we add more rough to the barrel. This one seems harder. But that piece that broke off last week, or last time we ran it, has smoothed out. You know what? I want to see on this soft stone what 120 will do for smoothing the surface, because right now the surface feels sandy, or not gritty, but like it has a sandy texture to it. It's not really smooth. And the next stage of grit should grind this more to where we get that. Oh, there's a lot of quartz on that one. Yeah, that was grit left over. And the ultrasonic cleaner will get all those little bits and pieces out that the toothbrush can't get. That's a really deep hole. That is going to carry all kinds of grit if we don't have something else that can clean it. Yeah, that needs more work. I don't know if you can see. It's like little grains of stone coming off on my hands. Oh, this, I don't know. Just want to see what we can salvage. Wow, it's like with my fingernail. Do you look at this? What's happening with my fingernail? I'm just crushing that off. That could be polish. Or not polish, excuse me. Slurry. It didn't get a good enough rinse when we were outside. This has a fracture line. I wonder if I can just break that off. And I could. That's how soft the stone is. Now, because this is a fresh break, it's going to need to go back into coarse just to smooth that out. And that goes with our little piles there. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything with it. Some of these, I'm just going to put in the 6090 barrel to use to help grind all this down. So this is really just really broken. And we kind of expected it with a stone that's this soft. Some of these just require a little more time. I don't know if that's going to benefit, but it's going back in. Oh, there's a lot of pockets on this one. And another broken piece. Goodness, lots and lots of breaks. Yeah, that was a fresh piece last week. It's got a lot of harder quartz mixed in with it, so it can take a little bit longer to get ready for stage 2. I don't like that end there, and that definitely is not ready. So we are about half and half on this batch. Half of them are ready to go to stage 2, so they'll join these. Need a bigger bag to put them in to wait. This is just like the stuff that broke off, and so we're going to put that back in the barrel to run another stage 1, and it will help with the grinding. And I have more lepidolite here that I want to put in, because you can see it's like maybe a quarter full. That's a pretty big piece. Some of these are on the bigger side. I want a nice variety. So you can even hear it when it falls in here that it's quiet. It is very soft stone. It's got a nice matrix of something in there. I'm going to take that out. That's going to be a problem child for the last ends. Do I need another piece? I'm fighting with the wanting to get rid of it. I had sourced the stone from a couple different places. So I just want to, that's really interesting. I wonder what that is. Emerald? Does lepidolite grow with emerald? Will that break off? Yeah, it does. Goodness. Well, let's see what it is. All right, that's enough for this round. Goodness, we are never going to finish up with this lepidolite. All right, we're going to want stage 1 grit, which is the 6090, of course, silicone carbide. I'm going to put 1 tablespoon, and we had like 1.5 in there last time. You know, I'm only going to put 1 because we had some grit left over after our cycle. And let's use a little bit less and see if we have less grit left over. And then I'm going to put 3 teaspoons, because that equals 1 tablespoon, of borax. I don't want to use the same spoon because I don't want grit contaminating my borax. Now let's add some water to the barrel. Just to the bottom of the top layer of rock, because we don't want it swimming in there. We want to create a slurry for grinding. All right, we'll button it up. A little piece of paper towel. Dry that off some. Make it easier to see if there's leakage later. Let's adjust the date on here. Today is September 3rd. Oh, goodness. You know what? Let's get another piece of tape. Today is September 3rd. All right. We're going to put this on the tumbler, and we're going to see it in 1 week. All right, we'll be right back with our next barrel. This is it for the advanced stuff. Everything else that we're doing is beginner level. So, too much babysitting on the advanced for my liking this week. All right, we'll be right back. And we're back with our Sodalite that has had its second 1-week run in stage 1 6090 coarse silicone carbide grit. And let's take a look at it. It's drying out rather well here. Boy, it's feeling good. It's looking really, really nice. I think we can move that piece on. Let's see. This one has a little bit of a dimple here, but it feels smooth. It's not like a grit catcher. This one's still a little wet. Yeah, I think we're getting really lucky here. Be right back. There's a divot there I'd like to work out. But it doesn't appear to be a grit catcher. We'll put that on the maybe. If I have enough to run a full 60-90 barrel, we'll run that. Otherwise, we'll just move it forward and just live with a couple of little fractures. The smoother these are, the better they are when they are in polish. The better, the smoother the surface, the more imperfections you work out, the better the polish turns out. See, it's a little wavy, but it's not catching. Maybe it's a little bit of a catch. Oh, that's a great surface right there. There's some fine fractures in here. Yeah, let's not rush it. That's the hard part, is we start to rush everything. There's always one side of the stone that needs work and the rest of it's perfect. Trying to keep these as large as possible. We've already lost so much mass. They're getting really little. Oh, that's just a little break. It turned into a cute little stone. Oh, it's some nice stuff in here. When the pattern changes like that, there's another name for it. I'll have to look it up and see what it is. It's a different type, like a sunset sodalite or something like that. I'll have to check it out. Find out what that name is for sure. That one feels rough. I'm going to let that one go. Yeah. We're having a pretty even split on this batch between what needs another run and what's ready to move forward. This whole section in here could use some work. I love the blue on Sodalite. Wow. Little lightning patterns in here is really cool. Really cool. All this area needs some work. That one's getting thin. I really want to move these forward. That is so close. You see how nice this surface is? And then when you roll it over, you see there's a little bit more of a texture to this surface. I want to work that out just a little bit more. All right, let's see what we've got. Wow, there's a lot that still need to be run. But I might be able to take this down to a 1.5 pound barrel. Oh, wow. Whew. Yeah, that's catching. So we'll work it out a little bit more. Wow. I really like to work with this. This is more of an intermediate. From a beginner stone, more of an intermediate because of the Mohs hardness is like a 5 to 6, 5.5 to 6. So it's a little bit softer, and the softer and softer you get on the Mohs scale, the more advanced the tumble becomes. Anything that's like a 6 and above can be considered a beginner stone because it's really easy to work with, very forgiving. Like if you leave it in for too many days or something, tends to be okay. Just a little bit. I mean, these are so close to perfect. Yeah. I mean, I'm already running a batch. What's it going to hurt to run it just a little bit longer? All right. This is ready for a wash cycle and to move to medium. And these need another run. So let's find a small barrel and put them in. Be right back. Okay, I found a 1.5 pound barrel. And we are going to move from our Sodalite barrel. Let's take this, take this label off. Put it on here. I kind of like to know how long things have been running, how many cycles. That's why I do this tape. Helps me with my note keeping. Today is 9/3. Okay. We're going to put all these little lovelies in this little barrel because there's not enough volume to fill the bigger one. As you can see, it only half fills, but I have some ceramic media that I only use in stage 60-90 and stage 1 because I separate out my media because I'm a little anal retentive and I don't want cross-contamination. I think a little chip one in there. But it's 60-90. Okay. I don't want a little bit more cushioning. It's a softer stone. I don't want a lot of. I'm sorry, my brain is just shutting off today. I'm putting ceramics in with my Sodalite in stage 1. And I know a lot of people say don't do it, but I need volume filler. And this ceramic media is not going to cause damage to my stone, but it will impede the amount of grinding that happens. But I'm not worried about that. I'm just wanting to finesse these. They've already been through 2 stages. I just want to finesse it. So, a lot of stuff on this desk and I need more space. Ooh, gosh, I'm spilling grit. I'm going to have to clean that up before I do anything else. I'm only going to put 1 tablespoon in this barrel. And I'm going to put the baking soda in, which I normally do a tablespoon, but I only have a teaspoon available. So I'm going to do 3 of those. That's 1 tablespoon. Put some water. And it's ready to go on the tumbler. Oh, that's way too much water. Yeah, it'll be fine. Now this can go on the tumbler. And we will see it next week.